Hello, I'm ETarte, once a Catholic priest for 5 years in the 1960s, now an atheist, which means I do not find any credible evidence for the existence of any God. This is August 2015. A local church is about to have a Sunday sermon series entitled Experiencing God. Well, I find no evidence for the existence of their God or any God. I base my life on reason and evidence. To be responsive to that series of sermons, you need faith, which is belief in things without evidence. I do not have faith. I am convinced that faith is not a good thing. So as long as evidence continues not to exist, I am not in the target audience for that series of sermons, just as I would not be in the target audience for a series of talks on experiencing Santa Claus. But the preacher at that church presumably has a target audience, his church congregation. On 3 occasions, I have conversed with that preacher over lunch. He has told me that, for sure, the Bible is the Word of God. There is no evidence whatsoever for that ridiculous claim, but that's what he is sure of. He reads and studies the Bible a lot. So I assume that that is an important way for him to connect with his God. Accordingly, my guess is that he will recommend Bible study to his church members as an important way of experiencing God. A few weeks ago, that same sign in front of his church said that we are to love God with our whole heart. I presume that the preacher thinks reading the Bible will help us to love his God. All right, the Bible. In the Bible, his God commanded Abraham to kill his son Isaac, and then withdrew his command at the last minute. Abraham ended up killing not Isaac, but a wild animal, and offering it to God as an act of sacrificial worship, because, according to the Bible, God likes that sort of thing. Is that the kind of God we are supposed to experience and love? In the Bible, God approves of slavery. He says that we can own other humans, and we can beat our slaves as long as we do not do it severely enough to kill them. But God says we should kill homosexuals, unbelievers, and rebellious teenagers. Is that the sort of God we are supposed to experience and love? The God of the Bible drowned almost the entire human race and almost the entire animal population, except for Noah and company. That is how almost the entire human race at that unlucky time experienced the biblical God. Is that the sort of God we are supposed to experience and love? The biblical God created and maintains a place that Christians call hell, a place where unbelievers such as me are tortured forever after death. But to my surprise, this preacher told me he doesn't think that happens. He thinks that God will simply annihilate me. This preacher thinks that after I die, instead of joining him and his fellow believers in heaven, I will simply cease to exist. I do not understand how he gets that idea from the Bible. He is certainly out of the Christian mainstream with that belief. But anyway, we have a biblical God who rewards people like that preacher who believe without evidence, but who punishes people like me who base our lives on reason and evidence. Am I supposed to experience and love that God? That's all for this video, the second in a series. You can click on the link below for the first video in the series. To all of you, thank you for watching.